All right, so what if everything you've ever been told about what it takes to become a pro athlete was just plain wrong? Today, we're going to talk about the incredible story of Vaidehi Chaudhari. She's a rising tennis star who is absolutely rewriting the playbook on how you make it to the top.
You know, it's a question we've all probably wondered about at some point, right? Is there an age where the window just closes, where it's too late to go pro? I mean, we live in this world of child prodigies who are getting scouted practically out of the crib. Well, Vaidehi Chaudhari's journey, it gives us a very different and honestly a really powerful answer.
Okay, so let's get right into it. That number you're seeing, 11. That's how old Vaidehi Chaudhari was when she first picked up a tennis racket. Yep, 11 years old. Now, think about that. In the crazy, hyper-competitive world of pro tennis, starting at 11, that's like showing up to a race when everyone else is already halfway to the finish line.
So the big question is, how on earth did she close that massive gap? Well, it all started somewhere very, very different. Forget about those polished, high-tech tennis academies you see on TV.
And this is where her story really gets going. Her journey didn't start in a big city with all the best facilities. Nope. It started in a small village called Kondasan in Gujarat. And you've got to understand, this background is absolutely key because it's what shaped the entire foundation of her career.
Okay, let's look at how she built her game from the ground up. She didn't have access to those top-tier, expensive coaches, so she had to rely on someone a lot closer to home. And this, right here, is where her story takes a really cool and fascinating turn.
So get this, her very first coach was her uncle, who was a police officer. He couldn't teach her fancy technique, but he instilled something maybe even more important: discipline and just raw physical fitness. We're talking running, bodyweight exercises, the basics. And what that did was build this incredibly resilient athletic base. So while all the other kids were busy learning perfect topspin, she was building the engine, the stamina to just outlast anyone in a brutal three-set match. And that grit, that became her secret weapon.
And you better believe that foundation of pure grit and fitness started to pay off big time. After years of just grinding it out, she began this steady climb up the professional ranks, and she really started making a name for herself on the international ITF circuit. You know, for pretty much every athlete, there's that one year where everything just clicks. It all comes together. For Vaidehi, that year was 2023. It was the moment all that quiet, relentless effort, all that steady progress just exploded into real, tangible success on the court.
And what this shows you is the incredible momentum she built. I mean, just look at this. In January of 2023, she wins her very first ITF singles title. Awesome, right? But then, just 1 month later, in February, she does it again. This wasn't a lucky break. This was a statement. She was proving to everyone that her unconventional path wasn't a handicap at all. It was actually her unique advantage.
And this chart really puts her success into perspective. So far, she's racked up 3 ITF singles titles and a whopping 5 doubles titles. That just goes to show you her versatility and her fighting spirit out there on the Pro Tour.
But her success wasn't just happening on the international stage. After she proved she could win abroad, the next big challenge was to dominate the scene back home. And in India, well, she reached the absolute top of the mountain.
And this number right here, it represents a level of dominance that very, very few players ever achieve in their entire national careers. That's right. Vaidehi Chaudhari has been crowned the Indian national women's singles champion twice. I mean, winning that thing once is a massive deal. Winning it twice? That puts you in the history books. That cements your legacy.
And of course, with that kind of national success comes the biggest honor of all, playing for your country. She's become a key player for India in the Billie Jean King Cup, which is basically the World Cup of women's tennis. And she even helped clinch a huge, crucial win against Chinese Taipei.
So that's the journey that got her here, but let's talk about the player she is today. What's her game like and what's next for her?
All right, let's break down the numbers a bit. This gives you a really clear snapshot of where she stands in the pro tennis world. She hit a career-high singles ranking of 355 in the world. That number right there proves she absolutely belongs at this elite level.
So what's her game actually like? Well, she's an aggressive baseliner, and she's got this powerful two-handed backhand. But here's the really exciting part. She's still getting better. She's not sitting still. Right now, she's actively working on flattening out her backhand. And what that means, basically, is hitting the ball with less spin so it travels faster and gives her opponents way less time to react. See? She's not just maintaining her game, she's constantly building it, constantly adding new weapons.
When you look at it, Vaidehi Chaudhari's story is just this powerful reminder that there is no single cookie-cutter path to the top. It's really not about when you start, it's about how you work and how you finish. So after completely shattering the mold of the child prodigy, the only question left is, what conventions will she break next?